Welcome back to day 6 of our 40-day prayer challenge for breakthrough in your business, saying prayers in and around your business. And today, I love this one. It is on Shameless Audacity. It is going to be talking about praying boldly, which is something that I don't feel like I grew up with. You know, I was like, oh, dear Lord, if it's maybe in your will and if you want this. But I am telling you that today's lesson is just going to give you so much courage about praying for those things that we really, really want without ceasing. And so the verse is Luke 11, verse 8. It says, "Yet because of your shameless audacity, he will surely get up and give you as much as you need." So he starts out with a story about a missionary called Dr. Bob Bagley. He had a church in Africa, and they literally met under a tree. It was the only place that they could provide shade and a little bit of refuge from the sun. That was until the local witch doctor came along and cursed the tree. So it withered up and they were going to lose their shade, and they were also overshadowed by this curse. And so the pastor called for a public prayer meeting. He confronted the curse. He called down a blessing on the tree. He literally put his hands on the tree and prayed that God would resurrect it. So there's an old saying that desperate times call for desperate measures. And although every prayer, can sometimes feel like a calculated risk, sometimes God calls us to up the ante and give him all the faith that we have. And he asked God on that day to resurrect the tree. And he also said this at the end. I love this. "It's not my name that's at stake." And so when we act in faith, we aren't risking our reputation. We are risking God's reputation because he's the one that made the promise in the first place. He says if we aren't willing to risk our reputation, we'll never establish God's reputation. We'll also never experience miracles like Bob did by laying his hands on that tree. And so not only did God break the curse that was on that tree, but it became the only type of tree to yield its fruit, not once, but twice a year, a double crop, which was a double blessing. Super unheard of. And so why do we mistakenly think that God is offended by our prayers of the impossible, by praying really big, by praying really bold? The truth is that God is offended by anything less. He's offended when we ask him to do things that we can do ourselves. It's the impossible prayers that really honor him because they reveal our faith and allow God to reveal his glory. Isn't that amazing? So this is about shameless audacity. And in Luke 11, Jesus tells a story about a man who won't take no for an answer. He keeps knocking on the friend's door until he gets what he came for. And it's really a story, a parable about prevailing in prayer. Jesus honors this man's bold determination. He says, "Yet, because of your shameless audacity, he will surely get up and give you as much as you need." And so I just love this depiction of prayer because there are times when you need to do whatever it takes. And there are also times when you need to do something crazy, maybe something risky or something that you've never done before. And the epitome of shameless audacity is the circle maker himself. So this was a man named Honi, and there was a severe drought in his lands that threatened to destroy a whole generation of Jews. He drew a circle in the sand, he dropped to his knees, and he said, "Lord, I swear before your great name that I will not move from the circle until you've shown mercy upon your children." So, of course, that's a risky proposition. He could have been in that circle a very long time. But God honored that bold prayer because that bold prayer honored him, right? And even when God answered that prayer for rain, he had the shameless audacity to ask for a specific type of rain. I love this. He says, "Not for such rain have I prayed, but for rain of your favor, blessing, and graciousness. So the moral of this story is to prevail in prayer, but it also reveals the character of God, of Him who answers prayer. The request is not simply granted because of repeated requests. Prayer is answered to preserve God's beautiful name, and it's not our reputation that's at risk, it's His. So God doesn't answer prayer just to give us what we want. He answers prayer to bring glory to His name. And the beauty of obedience is this: it relieves us of responsibility. It takes all the pressure off of us and places it squarely on God's shoulders. Oh my gosh, isn't that amazing? Just the peace and the freedom that brings. And when we give God, tithe, for example, our finances are no longer our responsibility, but they become God's responsibility. And He even says, test me on this. So if we test God, we'll find that we can do more with 90%. That He can do more with 90% than we can do with 100. So it turns financial management into a giving game that gets more fun the more that we give. And the more we give, the more we can enjoy what we keep. So when we pray, we relieve ourselves of responsibility. We let go and let God. We take our hands off and put our concerns into the hands of God. And trust me, He can handle whatever we put in His beautiful and mighty hands. So sometimes we're afraid of praying for miracles because we're afraid that God won't answer. But the answer isn't up to us. We never, ever know if the answer is going to be yes or no or not yet. And that's, again, the answer isn't up to us. It's not our job to answer, but it's our job to ask. And Jesus wants us to ask. He says, ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. And knock, and the door will be open to you. So these words, ask, seek, and knock, they are verbs we need to keep in our vocabulary. They aren't something that we just do once, but they are actions that are repeated over and over and over. So just keep asking, keep seeking, and keep knocking. I'll just leave you with this. The greatest tragedy in life is the prayers that go unanswered simply because they go unasked. So tonight I'm encouraging you ladies with shameless audacity. What is it that you really want in your business, in your life? And then don't be afraid to just go to God. Ask for big things, dream big dreams. He's the one that placed those desires in your heart. And then go to Him with shameless audacity. He loves your big requests. All right. Hi guys. Hi Evangeline. Hi Lori. So good to have you here, and go have a beautiful rest of your night. Love you guys. Bye.